Hey everybody, what is going on? It's your boy izlogic.business. Welcome you back to another episode of TFT Concepts Season 2. We're jumping into episode 11 for you guys, and we're going to just go straight into things. Now, we're going to start off with something unexpected. It's actually going to be the brand new champion on the PBE in Set. Now, Set, I feel, can fit quite nicely in as a 4-cost champion. And the reason he's 4-cost, you look at his typing, he's going to be Berserker and Steel. Now, obviously, Steel makes you invulnerable after you take X amount of damage or are on X amount of health left. And Berserker obviously is kind of fits into how his normal attacks work in the game, and his E as well. But enough about that. Let's look at what his ultimate I feel should be, and it's going to be his massive suplex. He carries a champion across the board, landing pretty much down, slams him down, does a lot of damage to everything around it, and it's also kind of a mini stun in terms of the champion that's being carried cannot do anything. They're kind of locked into this animation, and yeah, it's basically it's a bigger vial, I guess would be the best way to say it. It's just the reverse, I guess, because vial can be cast at range. This is quite short and does a similar sort of effect. But yeah, that's enough of Set. Let's move on to the next champion. Now, the next champion I feel could be Orianna. Orianna would have fit quite nicely into Set 1, but Set 2, she still can fit in with her Snow Day skin. Now, I feel she can be a 5-cost champion, and her traits will be Glacial and Summoner, because obviously she's carrying her little orb. She can, after X amount of mana, she can make that orb move out and also cast her ultimate. Obviously, this ultimate is called Shockwave, and what it does is, wherever the ball is, it creates a little circle effect that pulls everything into the center and does a ton of damage. A very powerful ult. It also will make it so that champions like Kindred and or Lucian now are kind of brought into a position close they can't exactly dodge out of. It's a very nice little thing. The way the ult would probably work is, obviously, she'd cast it randomly, I guess, would be to a random target, similar to how Ezreal ult is, and basically she'll pull anything in that area. Now, obviously, the higher level the Orianna will be, the bigger the shockwave radius will be and actually do a bit more damage. And that would be a very, very powerful ult to actually consider. Moving on to our next champion, it's going to be Twisted Fate. Now, Twisted Fate is a returning champion from Set 1, and he's going to be not too different, still going to be a 2-cost champion, but he's this time going to be Desert and Mage. Now, obviously, he can fit into the desert because he has a high noon skin, and that's obviously cowboys and deserts and stuff. You know how it is. And his actual ability will be his card throw that fires 3 cards in 3 different directions. Being a mage, he can obviously cast that multiple times. Very nice ultimate to have, and I feel can do a lot more damage and potential threat overall. The only issue that I have had with sort of thinking of him would be his cost, because his ultimate's better than what Vlad's is and Talia's, because them two are kind of one champion hit ult. This can hit multiple, which leads me to think he'd be better in a 2-cost, but then you realize you've also got LeBlanc and Syndra as 2-cost champions, and Syndra can hit multiple people, but it's very close radius hitting. This can hit quite far out, so maybe making him a 3-cost champion would be better. In fact, I think I would make him a 3-cost, thinking about this more. But yeah, this is the basis of this champion, and what I think would be basically the design of him. Moving on to our next champion, we're going to discuss Vi. This is our second to last champion that we've got, and Vi is only going to be a 1-cost champion in this mode, in exchange for the 3-cost she used to be in set 1. And the reason I'm bringing Vi in is because obviously I've discussed Set. They're basically lovers. I don't know the actual lore behind them, but they're pretty similar in terms of sets and stuff. No pun intended there. And she's going to be Berserker and Warden. I feel like that is probably one of the best setups you could go with traits, as there isn't really anyone who has that sort of category. Like, you really do need that one bulky Berserker like this to actually provide a bit more use to Wardens. Like, it would fit them in a little bit better into a Berserker team. Because, like, you can go Vi, Olaf, and then maybe a Braum, or maybe a Volley. You could basically buy, in the sort of teams, the Berserker teams usually run in Ezreal. So you have Olaf, Volley, Braum, Vi, and then Ezreal. You've got tier 2 Glacial buff and also Warden buff at the same time. You're not having to waste spatula items on a Warden's vest just to get Warden buff. You've got it there with that setup. You've also got Berserker as well. So it's a very nice little niche setup to kind of make some compatibility between setups. And kind of give Braum a bit more play. And finally, we're going to discuss her ult. I forgot to mention this, and basically what it is her E. Now obviously she charges up them strikes on a target. It kind of breaks their shield. She does get armor when she casts her E. It's basically a mini Diana ult, but it's a little bit stronger in terms of the fact that it's based on attack damage and not AP. It's very strong in that sense, and would probably be more used as a pivot champ than an actual damage dealer in the sets. And actually, Nalamont, let's discuss our final champion for this set. And it's going to be Blitzcrank. Now, I've originally talked about Blitz in set 1, how I loved using him, and I feel they can just bring him back pretty much the same way he was. Still a 2-cost champion. Steel, I mean, it kind of makes his ultimate a bit more usable in terms of the fact that he can just pull someone in, and then if they manage to burst him out because they've changed aggro onto it, it's a bit more funnier, because then Blitz can just be in Vun and go, lol, you're not killing me, and there we go. He's also going to be Robot. I feel like we can bring this back into set 2 just for Blitz. If they're bringing Soulbound into set 2, I'm surprised they haven't brought Lovers with Zyra Rakan. But yeah, Robot is a nice thing. It's easy and free. It provides you a bit more use. You can obviously pull in a target. It's usually the furthest one. It kind of gives you a bit more of a unique setups with Berserkers and Assassins. You can obviously do your bait Assassins a little bit better. Granted, it's also a Steel champion. There's only 2 of them if you don't include Lux. So why not add a third so you've got a more chance of getting to tier, the next tier up. Also, you can have a second tier in Steel, like how you've done in Cloud. I'm just giving you hints here, right? But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of Team Fight Tactics Concepts. Gonna leave you on this screen with the Blitzcrank. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're around here or if you want to, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.